What is going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. The Raptors season is fast approaching. Preseason is around the corner. The regular season begins on October 23rd, so we're just a little less than a month away from the beginning of the 2024-2025 NBA season. In this one, I thought I will tell you where I see the Raptors ranking in the Eastern Conference. Before we get right into it, do me a solid, everybody. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content just like this. And be sure to hit the bell to stay notified and all things that I post on this channel. I will be posting a whole ton with the Raptors season just around the corner. I am back from my month hiatus. Let's get into it. All right, so the Raptors, I think this is going to be a very fascinating season. I think there's a lot to look forward to. Full season, Barnes, Barrett quickly have a chance to really do something special together. You got the young rookies in the mix. You're going to have Jacoby Walter. I think he's going to have a nice campaign. Grady Dick, and he have a nice sophomore season. He's in all likelihood going to be that fifth starter. Jakob Poeltl is there as of now. Bruce Brown. So you're going to have some veteran pieces. Davion Mitchell, can he benefit from a change of scenery in Toronto? When you look at the Raptors beginning to their schedule, it's an absolute gauntlet. The first 17 games make or break, right? You're talking about taking on a tough team almost every single game. It's an opportunity for this Raptors team to come out of the gate, surprise people, put up their best shot, give their opponents their best punch, and win some of those games. And if that happens, maybe that lingers, carries on over, and the Raptors surprisingly have a good season. Or it could go the other way. The Raptors rack up losses out of the gate. They're never able to recover. And then we're having a much different discussion come trade deadline about continuing to blow this thing up in terms of trading some of the veterans here to make this team bad for the remainder of the season for a chance to get a bottom five pick. So this season could literally go either way, which makes it interesting to see what's going to happen. Now, do I think as constructed right now, a healthy Raptors team is bad enough to be a bottom five team in the league and completely bottom out? No. Do I think this team is good enough to be a legit playoff threat? No. So the Raptors, as of now, they're kind of stuck in that middle ground. And I know fans are tired of hearing that, but the difference between this team and the previous renditions of the Raptors, we don't know this team's ceiling. And that's what makes it such a wild card. This ceiling of the team is yet to be discovered. And it really does fall on the development of Barnes, Barrett quickly. Can Barnes follow up from what he did last season and have another incredible season? Once again, become an all-star. Emmanuel quickly, can he take that next step in his game? He just got paid. This is going to be his first full season as a starter. New grounds for him. Can Barrett break out in a new change of scenery? Clearly loves being in Toronto. So those are going to be the three guys that really set the tone. And then obviously you need some other good things to happen. Jakob Poeltl, if this team is going to be competitive right now, we know the Raptors are a better team with him. And then, can some of these other young pieces kind of fit in their role and truly exceed expectations? So there's a lot. And I think this is going to be a season of player development. This is going to be, one of those seasons where we look to see the Raptors. Can they show us flashes of brilliance that suggest this team can become something special down the line? This is going to be a big year for Darko, year two. Can he get the most out of these guys? He called the year one of the rebuild, but you still want to see some development, obviously, from his perspective, coaching this team. So where do the Raptors fall? Let's get into it. That's why you guys clicked on this video. Okay, so I basically got the teams written down here. This is how I see the Eastern Conference shaping up this season. Celtics number 1, no surprises there. I got the Knicks 2, Sixers 3, Bucks 4, Pacers 5, Magic 6, Cavs 7, Heat 8. Those are my top 8 teams. It can be interchangeable, but that's what I got right now. Then I got the Hawks number 9. There's been rumors that Trey could be headed elsewhere. If things get really bad for the Hawks, they might consider that route. But the Hawks could also be one of those sneaky good teams, right? Trey makes them a better team. They got some good young pieces, a Jalen Johnson. The Hawks could be one of those teams that somewhat are competitive. So for that reason, I do have them 9th. And then I got the Raptors 10. So I do have the Raptors with that last playing spot. I mean, this isn't too much of a surprise. I think a lot of people have them in this spot just because I don't think the Raptors are going to be that bad, nor will they have the capability to be that bad unless they, A, suffer a ton of injuries, or B, purposely tank. Then I got the Pistons 11, Hornets 12, Bulls 13, Wizards 14, and Nets dead last. So my best case scenario for the Raptors is that the Hawks, they end up, blowing this thing up. They fall on their face. They entertain maybe a Trae Young trade. They fall back. And Miami, it implodes for them. We know Miami, they usually suffer injuries. Maybe it gets ugly for them quick. Jimmy Butler's future with the team is uncertain. Maybe they completely fall out of the top 8. If that happens and the Raptors kind of exceed expectations, that trio blossoms really well together and they continue to get better as a unit and things go well for this team, I can see the Raptors with that 8 spot. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, Raptors are never able to recover from a tough start. They rack up, a ton of losses. Maybe an injury or two happens. And then at the deadline, we're talking about, trading a Bruce Brown, which I think is going to happen regardless of if this team is in a play-in position or not. But Jakob Poeltl, his name can be surfacing. Chris Boucher, his place is no longer on this team. And the Raptors are now looking at a reality where, hey, should we tank the second part of the season or try to be bad for the second part of the season in hopes of getting a good pick for the 2025 NBA draft? If that happens, I see the Raptors finishing at worst 12th. I do think the Pistons are better than them in this scenario. I am higher on the Pistons and a lot of people. I think those veteran additions are going to help that team. The Hornets kind of remind me like the Raptors where they got like good young pieces. And if they all take that jump together, they can be a very fun surprise team in the East. So I do have the Hornets in this scenario 10th. So those would be my playing teams. And then realistic spot is what I just said, 10th. I do think the Raptors will be a playing team. You just saw, glimpses of Barnes playing alongside Barrett and Quickly. It did suggest that there's a lot to look forward to. There is promise there. Make no mistake about it. There's going to be a ton of growing pains. It's not going to be like a smooth season. I don't think the Raptors are going to get, a 3-game win. Well, they will get a 3-game winning streak, but I don't think it's going to be a routine thing for this team. I think there's going to be a lot of inconsistency where they win, 1, lose 2, win 2, and then lose the next couple. I think it's going to be that kind of up and down season mimicking last season, but I don't think it's going to get as bad as last season just because I do think health's going to be on this team's side. I don't see the Raptors taking the purposely tank approach. I mean, we've seen it not work for teams in the past. Just ask the Pistons. So I think the Raptors, they're going to be competitive. They're going to play hard. They're going to see what this version of this team can give. And I think that will be good enough for 10th. I think they will trade Bruce Brown regardless of what happens. Jakob Poeltl is going to be the interesting piece. If Poeltl's still there, this is a much better basketball team with him. Obviously, without him, they're not as good. So there are a lot of moving parts, but I think just given this team right now at face value, I would have them 10th, 9th or 10th, but I'll go with 10 just to be safe with that. But yeah, that's where I have the Raptors stacked up in the East, guys. Best case 8th, worst case 12th, realistic final prediction 10th. Let me know where you think the Raptors fall. Do any of you think the Raptors are going to be a super surprise team, mimicking what the Magic did last season? I really don't see that. I mean, that would be crazy if it happened. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all again in the next one.